At what point should Apple investors be concerned about Xiaomi?
Well, I think it's a bit early to be overly concerned about Xiaomi. You certainly have to be paying attention to it. It's gone from nowhere in the smartphone leaderboards 2 years ago to #1 in China today, growing at a hyper rate speed right now, putting out great products. So Apple definitely needs to pay attention to what Xiaomi is doing.
It would be a stretch to think that Xiaomi could actually compete with Apple domestically here in the United States, but overseas, particularly in emerging markets, perhaps. Does Xiaomi have an advantage because it's a private company and it can sell phones at I don't know what cost with practically no margins?
Melissa, in China, Xiaomi certainly has some home field advantages, but I don't think it's necessarily a stretch to think that Xiaomi couldn't compete with Apple on the international stage. Xiaomi has a very good chance of becoming the next Samsung in smartphones. It's got some great manufacturing advantages. It's showing some incredible marketing savvy, so I wouldn't put them out of the running on a global sense by any measure.
Hey, Alex, it used to be a kind of a two-horse race at the high end between Samsung and Apple, and a lot of people thought for a while that Samsung was actually leading as far as innovation and sizing and camera, quality and all that sort of stuff. Now, all of a sudden, these guys are coming at them on design, actually, and this is something that Apple is obviously, is very close to home with them. Do you think when we get the iPhone 6S next year, will Apple have trimmed that camera? Will they make it slick? Are they going to start responding to this sort of stuff?
Well, Dan, what I like about what Xiaomi did is it put the focus on that attention to detail, which is so critical for Apple because it has that premium reputation, and it is one of the few smartphone makers that earns a reasonable margin on its devices. So the bar is very high for Apple, and that's where I think Xiaomi got it right in their rather amusing advertisement. What Samsung does with the S6 remains to be determined, but one of the two advantages that both Xiaomi and Samsung have is they're basing their smartphones on Samsung technology. Xiaomi now coming out on the Snapdragon 810. So they've got that sort of horizontal approach that leverages other industry technologies, and that could give them an advantage down the road.